So let's talk about HIM. All right. So we talked on the show back a few weeks ago about how Steam pulled NSFW content from their platform. Now, Steam has always had a very mixed relationship with NSFW work on their platform. Like they just they haven't been necessarily against it. They just didn't like the amount of slop that came with it. Um that being said, I think that they got a little bit of pressure from some credit card companies, and they just used that as like their way to like, all right, we're tired of dealing with the level of like not great content that comes from not safe for work games. Let's pull the plug. I think it came more from like some kind of like ideological place or whatever with them, but I digress. Itch.io is a little different. There are like NSFW games on Itch, from what I'm aware, have been more accepted, and there's generally like a higher quality of, you know, art there. And this is kind of actually a little harder. Like they broadbandly delisted all of the NSFW games, and there were actually like beloved um video games that were actually like really really good. um and fundamentally, the reason why this is happening is, I forget the name of it. Yeah, it's called Collective Shout. And Collective Shout, it's basically one of those like right-wing puritanical things that has become resurgent in the current political era we are in. And while they groups like this have always battered payment processors to, basically make it impossible for like, you know, sex workers to make content and make their money legally in a legal way through things like Patreon, and before that, and then Ko-Fi, and then now OnlyFans. The fact of the matter is that, you know, groups like this don't care about sex trafficking or things like that. They just don't like the idea of sex being public in any capacity, and so they try and get rid of it. It's puritanical, pathetic nonsense, and unfortunately, it's affecting the art that we have available to us, and it's a shame.